So in this week of the Family Flips, we are looking at maximizing the space that we have use of right now in the retail floor. Long term, we are desiring to expand back into the stockroom, but before we expand back into the stockroom any further, we've got to look at the space that we are currently using to make sure that we are using it the best way we can now that maximizes profitability, but also takes into account the guest experience so that it's optimized. We can't just think about the bottom dollar without considering the guest and how they're going to experience shopping in our store. So we're going to start looking at the spaces that we have, looking at, is it set up correctly? Is it too much space, not enough space? Are the aisles too big, not big enough? But also balancing the retail department and the bins and clothing as well. So we're going to start exploring that this week.
And before we get into all of that and all the cool plans and all the cool things that we've got going on, I just want to apologize to you.
Hello, I'm Joe.
And I'm Jessica.
Years back, we set out to find a lifestyle that allowed us to live comfortably, homeschool our 3 children, and make a life and legacy we would be proud of.
Reselling liquidated goods both online and locally through our bin store was the vehicle that allowed us to do just that.
It's hard work, it's constantly changing, but we wouldn't trade it for the world.
Here's the story of how our small business runs in the midst of all the challenges life throws at us.
As always, thank you for stopping by, and come on in.
I have not been on the vlogs like I have wanted to be. I've been really struggling a lot lately with my health. Joe has been leading a lot of the vlogs because I have not really been in the place, not only physically, but emotionally and mentally, to be able to be on the vlog. When I talk about it, everybody's very quick to give me their diagnosis and what worked for them. And sometimes it's just really hard to sift through all of it, and it gets very, very overwhelming. The reason why I haven't been really talking about it actively on YouTube is for that reason. Just to protect myself and my own mental health and try to keep the stress down as much as possible. I'm here. I'm here. It's not gonna keep me down. Some days are harder than others. Some days I'm like, you know what? We're taking a rest day. I can't do it. But most days I get up and I am graceful with myself. Now, back to the fun stuff, the exciting stuff. We think it is time for a few minor changes that might make us a few extra dollars in profit, which is what we want. So let me show you. So you see where we are in the store, right? This space here is kind of wasted space. So, you know, if you've been watching our vlogs at any point in time, you know that we plan on taking this fake wall that we have built that separates that back area from the retail area. We plan on moving that back and making more space for the retail area. But before we do that, there's some stuff that needs to be done back there. There's some organization, some storage problems that we need to solve back there, and we're doing that. But until then, we can still take the time to make this space more profitable, and really this area here with retail and that area over there where the, what is that called? Cashier? Checkout station. It's wasted space. It's wasted space.
It hasn't been wasted space that much. I'm chewing, sorry.
He had an omelet.
Because we've used the area against the wall back over there. You see like the little shelves that are there. We do that, if I can get back in here. We've used that to hold people's bags because all we have had since we've been open is the little blue IKEA bags.
But we've grown.
We've got shopping carts now. We've got actually 10 shopping carts, and we've got another 15 that are coming in the next week or so. And with the addition of shopping carts, I didn't think our customers would like them that much, but they love them.
So now we're getting more.
Right? And they're a really good deal. But since we have shopping carts, it decreases the need to have holding space for customer stuff in the back. Now they can just put it in the buggy. So we've got to utilize the space. And really, we also have to make a space for the shopping carts as well, because where they're currently stored is not very user-friendly. I mean, it's user-friendly, but it's not, I don't like it.
It's not efficient.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay, so this is what it looks like behind the counter, right? And so we have all of this space that we use. And really, on a really busy Friday when we didn't have shopping carts, this was lined with shelving. So it made this space a lot less spacious.
That's a great word.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. So we would have those there, but that need to have those shelving in that space there is going down because of the use of the shopping carts.
So kind of a tentative plan is I've explored, moving the cash registers to over here where the testing stations are, and then I didn't like that because it created blind spots, all kinds of different things. So we landed as our current registers, they are 8 feet wide, and we don't exactly need 8 feet, right? They could be 6 feet, but the thing is we need 4 feet right there so that we have a little gully, is that what it's called? A little cubby hole where the buggies will just go back against that little thing there to put all the buggies, and then we just need to reduce the registers by 2 feet per register to get the 4 feet.
I also want to point out that we're in the South, so we call them buggies, but you may also know them as shopping carts.
Shopping carts, shopping carols, I think I've heard them called that.
We call them buggies down
here. They're buggies. They're buggies.
I mean, we've been open now long enough that we know a lot of shopping trends. We've had enough theft that we are able to now identify the blind spots and the problems in the way that we set up the store. Joe wanted me to point out that we set up the store wrong to begin with.
We did. Yeah.
It's just one of those things where we had a floor plan. We left a floor plan at home. We didn't think it was important to go back and get it. We thought we knew. And we didn't, because really we had initially set up these bins. These bins go straight across. We'd initially set them up right to go up and down. Is that right?
Yeah,
it was
they're
up
supposed
and down?
to go this way and not this way, because you get, it's not a whole lot, but you get more bin space for going this way versus this way. Like you get, I don't know, 16 square feet more in bin space, but when you're looking at 16 more square foot, and our bin sales are like, $15, $16, $17 per square foot, 16 times that per week, like it adds up to several $100s or over $1,000 per month just for a little 8 foot by 2 foot space.
We also don't necessarily need all of this testing station area. A majority of people do not really need to plug it. I mean, there's so many things that you're looking at, and people don't really need a lot of that space. And I've even considered trying to cut these down and make them into squares and putting them in a center area. Because if we can do that, it's a lot less likely that, I just want you to look at this, right? So say you're at the cash register. Watch. All right, so here's something that I've noticed. Cash register's over here, right? They are facing away from you. They can easily use their body to hide stuff. If I create these tables and I put them together in squares where there was full access all the way around, we can hang the electric and have them come down from the ceiling. That's gonna lower the possibility that they can use this space as a place for theft. We do not have a whole bunch of theft. We have a really great community of people, and a lot of people are looking out for those things. And I've actually had customers come to me and say things and let us know so that we can handle it, which makes it so much easier because it's better than having just a couple of eyes. I've got customers that are, so grateful and so thankful and so happy to be a part of our community that they're helping keep us going. And if you are watching and you are one of those people, I thank you so much. I can actually tell you, there was one time, it was Black Friday, I believe. Somebody had come and stolen a pair of shoes and put their old shoes in the store, or in its spot. And when Joe had announced to the store, like, hey, I just want you to know that when you are stealing from, you're not stealing from some big corporation, you are stealing from my pocket and my family's pocket. And you are stealing from these hardworking employees here. No less than like 15 people came up and offered to pay for those shoes. And it really wasn't about the shoes. The shoes at the time were only $6. It was that $6 adds up when we're constantly doing it, and we want to make sure that we are shining a light on that. But we had so many people in our community that were like, I would like to support you and pay for those shoes. Which that's the kind of community that we have here, and it just makes me so happy. But ultimately, there are people who are stealing, and if they're going to be doing that, we have to make it as hard as possible so that we can protect ourselves and our business. We're already selling things so low that, you know, we're not making huge profits, so we just have to be really careful. So not only are we rearranging to increase the amount of product that we can put out, that we are increasing the amount of stuff that we can sell per square inch, per square foot, right? But we also want to be really careful about how we organize stuff to make it that the people who are being dishonest, they're going to have a harder time being dishonest. And it's really all about balance. It's about how effective, how efficient, how safe, and how profitable are the changes that we're making. And that's, it's so many cogs in the wheel. Sometimes I get a little overwhelmed with it because it's not just about rearranging it so it looks pretty and aesthetically pleasing, right? We're crooked. We are so crooked. Hold on. Okay. It's not about just making things look nice, right? I don't want to put stuff out that isn't going to sell because it's just taking up space. We only have a limited amount of space in which we can have the bin store because we still have pallets we need to store. We can't use this whole space. We have to have some kind of back of house storage space area.
Fumble a bag, now I will not fumble a bag. Fumble a bag, now I will not fumble a bag. Act like you know how this goes.
That's normal, Whitney.
Fumble a bag, now I will not fumble a bag. Act like you know how this goes.
I'm one of those weird human beings, I think, maybe. I don't know. Let me know if you're weird like this too. But I have always enjoyed, let me rephrase it. At home, I do not enjoy organizing and straightening things up. But in business and work, I don't know. I've always enjoyed even maybe doing stuff for other people. As I'm thinking back, it's like I would never do chores at home growing up, but I would go to friends' houses and I would do all kinds of stuff. I mean, I'd wash dishes, take out the trash without being asked. But at home, I wouldn't do anything. And I guess, you know, maybe it's the ADHD where it's like a low dopamine response. You don't really, you don't really enjoy things that don't really get you a dopamine response. But as an acts of service person, I would always go to other people's houses and I would do stuff because, I wanted to serve them. I wanted to, show my appreciation for them. And I always got like a good response, so it's like it encouraged me to do it. But then I would work at Fred's for, retail. It's like a discount store. And I enjoyed just organizing, making things straight like this, where everything was nice and neat and straight and fronted. And I think that's, why we probably do a good job of making sure that the store is straight here, because I like it, and I know that people like it and appreciate it too. So let me know in the comments if you're weird like that too. I don't like that. I don't like to do it at home, but then I love to do it everywhere else. But it's probably one of my favorite parts. I don't even want to say it's my job. I mean, it is my job technically, but I just enjoy rearranging, reorganizing, making things fit. It's amazing. I love it.
Fumble a bag, now I will not fumble a bag. Fumble a bag, now I will not fumble a bag. Act like you know how this goes. a bag. Now I when I fumble a bag, act like you know how to.
So we originally moved this cash registers around so that we could put our shopping carts down this way. And one of the floor plans that we had designed, one of the phases, was to move the testing stations from against this wall right here and put them right here. Now, we were going to do that for a while because we actually even flirted with putting the retail shelves, I think the light would be okay, putting some retail shelves against this wall and moving the testing stations. But we've been having some theft. Now, we have cameras, we have all of those things, like we've been catching people stealing through the security cameras because every square foot of this building is covered, really not even just by one camera, but by multiple cameras, multiple angles. So yes, people are stealing and we're not catching them in the act, but we are able to catch them after the fact because we notice things with empty packages, and then we can go back and trace their steps to see when the packages appeared there and then who it was, by what time they checked out, and we can trace all that, and we've been catching lots of people. And one of the common culprits has been right over here in this area where the testing stations were before, was they would get right there and it would create a blind spot for us physically being able to look at them. Now, we could see them, but it was somewhat shielded because their backs were turned to us. Now, when we put that there, I knew that that would be an issue. I've been working in retail a long time, right? I understand, dynamics and creating opportunity and such, but it's getting to where it's happening more. So that's why we went ahead and moved the testing stations here. Now, this is not how it's gonna be long term. I don't know if I like it, I don't know, but I do know that they're going here. We had 3 8-foot testing stations. We're only gonna have 2 8-foot testing stations right now. Because it's right in front of the registers. Their backs are they are not gonna have an opportunity to do it there. So people who will steal and who are going to, they will still do so, but it's gonna be harder for them to do so. I've even thought, to do like a Family Flips Most Wanted sign up there and start posting people's pictures that are stealing from us and that we've caught stealing. And I don't know, I have varying thoughts about it. Like, one, I don't know, it's kind of tacky, but at the same time, I know that some people steal because of opportunity, like they're desperate. But then the people that we've been catching stealing, they've just been stealing just to steal because they don't want to pay for it. That's not the place to do it. Y'all can go to the other store if y'all want to get crazy.
Can I get excited if I'm trying to get?
You can get excited, but we don't run around and be pushing and running into people.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
We don't grab stuff out of people's hands. We play nice here. If you don't, you can go shop somewhere else.
Good morning.
So it's like 11:10 now. It's packed in here. Bargain Brothers did their fill-a-bag sale today, which I think they do it like once a month. When they do it, we usually do the 75-cent events for everybody because it brings in a ridiculous amount of people. There's probably, 60 or 70 people in there digging around for 75-cent items. It's crazy. It is Friday now. This vlog has been being recorded for well over a week now, and we had so many intentions with this episode. with talking about why we're expanding the store, while we're optimizing the space. And you've gotten some tidbits and stuff here and there of all the stuff that we have done and why. And there is still gonna be stuff missing. I feel like we've talked about some stuff. We have not been able to bring it full circle. It's just been that kind of week, y'all. That's like, being a small business owner. I'm gonna put you up here. You're a little higher. But now we're kind of crooked. There we go. Being a small business owner is really, it's like a freaking roller coaster ride. I mean, it really is. It's like you're, going up, and then all of a sudden, like, you're going at a good space, you're having fun, and the freaking bottom drops out. Things happen, employees call out, things don't go quite as expected, kids get sick. It's been that kind of week. I think this week, Lucas has missed several days of school, so Jessica has been at home taking care of him. So that destroyed several of the plans. Like, we're supposed to do a live unboxing today. It's not happening. We have had an employee miss work, at least one employee miss work every single day this week, and we're a small team. So when an employee doesn't come in that day, we're missing like 25% of the staff. I know yesterday it was crazy busy, 75-cent event, 170 customers in 4 hours of work. Very, very busy, busiest traffic day we've had in a long time, and we were down to 2 people. And then on top of that, it was restock day. As you can see, these bins are stocked full. So we were here a lot later last night than normal. So that's just how it goes, y'all. It's just been a week. So I know there's stuff that we will have missed, that we didn't articulate, we didn't describe the way that it needed to be. And some of you are like, well, you didn't really finish that. And Jessica and I had talked, and we were talking about, like, we would do pickups where we would go back and record some stuff to put it in. And I think just the need to be perfect, I think the need to be transparent is more important than making it look like all of this stuff, because I think that's more important. I think that's really the story of the video, is just we have plans, we set things out, and things happen. Small business happens. You have to, just like how we adjusted the stuff. We were going to put it in one direction, things happened, and I guess that was like some prophetic foreshadowing of this episode, is that you have plans and you try it out, and then life happens, things happen that are beyond your control, and you have to adjust on the fly. That's small business. That's bin store discount. Is you have to be able to adjust very, very quickly, and really you have to have a pulse. You have to be able to see around the curve before you get to the curve to know what's going to happen. And if not, then things can go haywire. Haywire is the key word that I'm looking for, is that you've got to have a good pulse on your business. You've got to feel it. It's like emotions. You can just feel the emotions. You can feel and be in tune with what's going on, or else things could be bad. But that's where I'm going to leave y'all today. The store is fixing to open here in a little while, and that's just where I'm at, y'all. It's good though. It's not bad. Like, I'm not depressed. I'm not stressed. For those people who'd want to give us advice, I don't really need advice. Encouragement. You can give me encouragement, but I don't need you telling me that you should do this or do that, or do this, do that. That's not helpful at all. Never is. But encouragement is always welcomed and appreciated. Until next time, peace.